For this week's SMTV News, two important history organizations have teamed up to bring important and engaging stories to students in a modern way. Stay with us to learn more.
Also, USM libraries for decades have been spreading awareness about the need for open access. We have a story coming up to explain more about the efforts being made here at USM.
All of this and more on SMTV. SMTV News for Thursday, October 10th starts right now.
From the Chuck Scarborough Television Studio on the campus of the University of Southern Mississippi, this is SMTV News. News you can use.
Good evening, Golden Eagles, and welcome to another rendition of SMTV. I'm Bethal Miles.
And I'm Kennedy Drake, and here are our top news stories for today. USM's Oral History and Cultural Heritage Center collaborated with the Dale Center for a 10-week podcast series. During this period, students will have the opportunity to learn about specific stories in World War II. SM2 Suvi Lama has more.
USM's Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage and the Dale Center for Study of War and Society released a new podcast series that combines veteran oral histories with expert analysis to tell the story of World War II.
It is going to give, again, a spotlight on voices of Mississippians who have done important and big things. The next one is on the Civil Rights Movement in Mississippi. And it's, along with military history, the history of civil rights is one of the strengths of our collections in the Oral History Center.
The podcast, titled Voices of Our People, World War II, debuted September 30. Each episode draws from Center of Oral History's extensive archive of interviews, and topics range from Pearl Harbor and D-Day to the experiences of Black GIs returning to a segregated America.
The center has been collecting oral history since 1971, and we've collected pretty broadly. We have, I think, close to about 5,000 interviews, and we're adding more all the time.
Voices of Our People, World War II will be available on all major podcast platforms. This is Suvi Lama for SM2.
For the past decade, Southern Miss has been celebrating open access every October. This month will be USM's 10th year celebrating its efforts. Open access is an international movement that is trying to grant free and open online access to academic information, such as publications and data. Josh Cromwell from the University Libraries headed the celebration for this year. In his presentation, he talked about the themes of the past, open access months throughout the decades, and discussed what will be happening this year. The campus library spent its early days teaching students about open access because the concept was still relatively new to a lot of non-science fields in 2014. Cromwell explained that 2020 was a big year for open access because publishing companies silently admitted that making research articles free would advance many research efforts.
So they're tacitly acknowledging that having this research be open speeds the development of science, because all these researchers can find what's being done, they can take it and they can build upon it, but they're not sort of tacitly admitting that like out loud, because at the same time they want to be able to profit off of this research by having the paywalls. To one of their titles, and at that point
Located on USM's Hattiesburg campus, tucked behind the International Center and Liberal Arts Building, is a small garden. The garden is known as the Medicine Wheel Garden, and the indigenous tribe Choctaw tends to it. Tammy Greer has information on the garden and its importance.
So the Medicine Wheel Garden was developed in 2005 because we were hearing in our communities that the elders are saying that they were losing their relationship with the plants, like they didn't understand and remember the gifts that these plants have, like the food and the medicine and the dye and the pigment and the tools and the clothing and the cordage, and they didn't remember which plants had those different gifts, and they remember the names of the plants in their original languages. And so we designed the Medicine Wheel Garden to be a place where Native elders could come and transmit that knowledge, what they did remember, to the youth.
If you are interested in volunteering to help with the garden, you can contact Tammy Greer at tammy.greer@usm.edu. Coming up after the commercial break, we have our SMTV weather report and flash news briefing.
Now, stay tuned. We'll be right back after a couple of commercials.
Deciding who to vote for is important. There are people, organizations, and foreign adversaries trying to trip us up, manipulate our views, and redirect or even discourage our vote. Whether it's bogus claims designed to stop us from voting or convincing digital fakes trying to sway our opinions, we all need to double-check our facts. Watch out for phrases that frequently accompany political disinformation like, make this go viral, or conspiratorial statements like, the media won't cover this. It's your vote, not theirs. Use it wisely. Be informed, not misled.
The new Walk EMS experience was so uplifting. All of us are coming together, not only for that walk day, but for every day.
I love the energy at Walk MS. It is community, it is family. I can ride that high for the rest of the year.
A cure is on the line for me.
A cure is on the line for all of us.
Welcome back to SMTV. I'm Micaiah Jackson, your SMTV weather reporter. Now let's get into it. Our high for today is going to be 87 degrees and the low later on is going to be 55 degrees. You can expect today to be full sunny day since there will be no clouds. The rest of this week is going to be pretty similar to today, and Friday's high will be at 86 and the low will be at 54. Saturday will have a high of 87 and a low of 55. And Sunday's high will be up in the 90s and the low will be at 59. Monday's high will return to 87 degrees and that low will be at 56, and there will be, there will be little to no clouds at all this week, so take that chance to soak up the sun. As for rain chances, there's not a whole lot to be worried about this week, since the entire week, as you can see, will have single-digit rain chances, with Sunday and Monday having the highest percent at 6. So in all, it's going to be a pretty sunny week. Thank you for tuning into your SMTV weather report. I'm Micaiah Jackson, and on to more news with Kennedi and Bethal.
Yeah, thank you so much for that weather report, Micaiah. Kennedi, I'm hoping that we won't get too much rain from these storms that's happening near Florida.
Yes, I am too. They've been happening back to back to back, and I'm wondering, when are we going to get a break?
Listen, I grew up in that St. Petersburg area, the Tampa Bay area. It's right there on the cusp of Florida near Fort Myers. We hadn't been hit with a big storm, or at least a storm of this magnitude, in a really long time. So it's actually a little scary.
I know. My cousin lives there, and I'm concerned about him. I hope he leaves if it gets really bad.
Let's get into some flash news.
Time for your flash news briefing. In Forest County, 2 arrests have been made in conjunction with an attempted murder that took place on January 11th of this year. Forest County officers have arrested Robert and Rhonda Pittman in connection with the assault. The attempted murder is believed to involve 3 persons and Robert Pittman Jr. The victim of the crime is said to have sustained serious bodily injury during the assault. Rhonda and John Pittman both face charges of conspiracy and attempted murder.
Now in state news, we've got quite the story coming out of Yazoo City. A Mississippi officer was found passed out in his patrol car with a meth pipe in his hand. That's according to the Yazoo City police chief, who says on October the 5th, the officer also had marijuana in the glove box. After refusing a sobriety test, the intoxicated officer was charged with possession of paraphernalia and DUI refusal. He has now been released on bond.
We still have SM2 sports and community calendar left in the show.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to throw a couple commercials at you and we'll be right back.
If you're watching this with your friends, you'll probably make a joke.
Because you know what you feel on the inside
isn't what you want people to know.
If you have to pretend to be happy,
find someone you trust and tell them.
If you get mad at things and you don't know why, or have thoughts about hurting yourself,
find someone you trust and tell them.
You are never alone when you share.
Seriously, people care about you.
It's okay to not understand what you're feeling.
And it's easy to think that you're all alone.
But you don't have to be.
You're never alone when you share.
Don't be ashamed to tell someone you trust what you're feeling.
You're not alone.
You are not alone.
Find someone you trust and tell them.
Tell a parent.
Tell a teacher. Tell a brother or sister.
Or just tell a friend.
You haven't done anything wrong.
Talk to someone.
Talk to someone.
It's how things get better.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dad. Happy birthday to you.
What are you going to wish for, Grandpa?
Don't just wish you had taken care of your hearing loss. Take action today. Visit actnow.onhearing.com to learn the signs and find an ASHA-certified audio.
High THC products can cause cannabis-induced psychosis
and come with increased risks of suicidal thoughts, planning, and attempts.
Just Say No, KNOW. Go to justsayno.org today for the facts.
Hello and welcome back to SMTV. I'm Emily Blue here with this week's community calendar. Every Thursday during the month of October from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. is the Hack Brown Bag Outdoor Concert Series, which offers free live music at the downtown City Hall Fountain Park. For those unfamiliar with the location, it's behind City Hall. The Lucky Rabbit is hosting Friday nights every Friday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. this month. The Beetlejuice exhibit is open, and food trucks and adult beverages are available. Wear a costume and enjoy the interactive experience this spooky season at the Lucky Rabbit. Kicking for Kids is a kickball tournament this Saturday at 8 a.m. at the Larry Dolac Youth Baseball Complex located in Tatum Park. The event is hosted by the Rotary Club of Hattiesburg and the Benefiting Kids Hub Child Advocacy Center. Teams can be made up of 10 to 12 players, ages 10 or older. It is $250 to register a team. Also on Saturday, Patio 44 is hosting a 1970s prom murder mystery dinner show from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Tickets include a 3-course dinner, commemorative photos, prizes, and a show. A full bar is available featuring 1970s themed drinks. The tickets are $65. Hattiesburg is filled with such exciting events this weekend, but sadly, that's it for your community calendar update with me, Emily Blue. Catch you next time, Southern Miss.
So this is like a secret video interview.
My day is going pretty cool, very classy, very demure.
My day is going great. Thanks for asking.
I can't stop sneezing. So other than that, pretty good.
My day's going really great too.
My day is going really good.
Day's going good for me, I guess.
My day is going pretty good. I went to volunteer, so it's been a great day.
Should we do ASMR?
My day is okay.
My day is going good. So I'm having a really great day today. I'm starting a new job and I'm really excited to make money.
My day is going good. It's a great day.
My day's going pretty well.
My day's going good.
My day's great, thank you.
My day is going great.
My day is going pretty good. How are you?
It may sound funny, but hearing actually happens in our brains, not our ears. Our ears are like mail carriers that deliver sound, so our brains can figure out what's going on. So what is going on? Well, it's pretty simple. When our ears work better, our brains hear better. And that's a happier thing. Like Happy Dance Happier.
Hearing loss puts you at greater risk for dementia. So see a hearing professional and let's get those ears checked.
High THC products can cause cannabis-induced psychosis
and come with increased risks of suicidal thoughts, planning, and attempts.
Just say no, KNOW. Go to justsayno.org today for the facts.
Good afternoon, Golden Eagles. I'm your SMTV sports anchor, Gabe Calhoun, and we have an action-packed segment for you. Let's get right into it. Kicking off with football, our Golden Eagles had their first conference matchup this past Saturday. The Raging Cajuns from UL traveled to the Rock to take on the Golden Eagles. The Cajuns were indeed raging as they spoiled USM's start in conference play, handing the Eagles a loss 23-13. The Golden Eagles didn't go down without a fight, as defense had 3 sacks and Kenyon Clay found the end zone not once but twice. Now the Golden Eagles look forward to travel to Monroe to take on the ULM Warhawks. Saturday, kickoff is at 4. Now over to the pitch. Our Lady Eagles continue conference play, hosting the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. The Lady Eagles attacked the net heavily, shooting the ball 15 times, but in the 19th minute of the game, Raquel Mitchell found her breakaway opportunity and buried one home to tie the game 1-1, which was the final tally. The Lady Golden Eagles will have another opportunity in conference play as they take on Marshall today at 4. The game will be streamed on ESPN Plus if you cannot attend. Digging into volleyball, our Lady Golden Eagles stayed home this past weekend as they took on the Arkansas State Red Bulls to continue conference play. The ladies split the series with the Red Bulls, losing on Thursday and narrowly escaping with a 3-2 victory on Saturday. Our volleyball team travels to Lafayette, Louisiana this weekend to take on the Louisiana Raging Cajuns today and tomorrow as they look to add more wins under their conference belt. Now for the player of the week. Last week it was a team effort as the volleyball team had an incomparable feat in sweeping both games in conference. This week it's back to being a single athlete. The player of the week is Kenyon Clay as he notched 2 touchdowns this past weekend. Both came within the 5-yard line as well. Way to go, Kenyon. This has been your SMTV Sports Report. I'm Gabe Calhoun. Until next time, Southern Miss.
I work.
I work.
I work, and I want to keep working.
I work for the challenge.
Because people are counting on me to provide for my family.
And I'm employed today because we work together.
Work together.
Work together. When my life changed in an instant.
When I got hurt.
Needed support.
We made a plan.
So I could come back strong.
So I could stay in the game. Because we couldn't succeed without it.
It wasn't a matter if I could go back to work.
It was a matter of when and how.
Because working works.
Working works.
It lets me earn a living.
Be there for the team.
Together, we made a plan.
To keep me on the field for 2,632 games in a row.
To keep me working.
America works best when all Americans can work. Ensuring workers can stay on the job or return to work following an injury or illness is essential to America's economy. To learn more, visit whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
Welcome back to SMTV. Just this past Sunday on October 6th, an anniversary special for the American Music Awards took place at 6 p.m. Eastern Time at the Peacock Theater in Los Angeles, California. This special celebrated the 50th anniversary of the awards ceremony. There were many performances that night starring artists from Jennifer Hudson to Nelly. The show was all about remembering AMAs throughout the years, with many segments honoring world-renowned artists. There were many tributes throughout the night, including tributes for Whitney Houston and Charlie Pride. The night was focused on the memories created from the awards ceremony, referencing many funny and historical moments on the show. It was a night to remember and a night of remembrance.
Now it's time for Southern Miss Today, presented to you by WUSM.
Welcome back, listeners. Today I am beyond excited to introduce two guests who are making waves here on campus in a big way. We're talking about discipline, leadership, and commitment, traits that are all homed in one of the most dynamic programs here at Southern Miss. That's right, we've got Simon Gonzalez and Chris Davis from USM's ROTC with us today. Simon and Chris, thank you so much for joining us. How are y'all doing today?
We're good. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, awesome. Of course. Now, I can't wait to dive into all the amazing work you and the ROTC are doing. So let's get started. Simon, can you give our listeners a quick overview of what the ROTC program here at Southern Miss is all about and what its core mission is?
So our core mission is to recruit, educate, and train cadets to commission into the United States Army as commissioned officers.
You know, so as far as like the program, it's just turning you into a leader, you know, having that discipline, motivation, and just resilience to every day, you know, be better and lead, you know, many personnel in the Army and just become, you know, a better person overall, you know, in the Army or outside the Army.
Now, what are some of the biggest challenges cadets face in the ROTC program, and how do they overcome them?
I want to say physical training and that the ability to perform under pressure. And I guess we overcome physical training by doing it more often. And because we do things as far as like, you know, running 12 miles with 45 pounds on your back. Wow. So it's not something you can just jump into. So we constantly strive to perform a lot better every single day. And we endorse everybody coming out and going and still working out after classes and after PT sessions, just so they can, you know, because at the end of the day, as cadets, we're here for you, and we want them to become their better selves. So, so that, and as far as moving under pressure and making decisions under pressure, we do that by rehearsals and educating them. That way, there's no confusion in their mind, and we continue to drill into what our standard operating procedures are and what our what to do in those decisions and what you have to take in to make those decisions, like whether it's the weather or terrain or what obstacle is in your way or how many people are you facing. So we really drill all this into them so that they for sure know what decision to make instead of having to guess.
Well, Simon and Chris, thank you so much for giving us a closer look at USM's ROTC and the incredible work you all are doing. It's inspiring to hear about the dedication and leadership coming out of this program. For any of our listeners who are interested in learning more, be sure to check out the ROTC office on campus or visit their website. Thanks again, Simon and Chris, and we wish you and all the cadets the best of luck.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Of course.
It's always a pleasure to see that segment from our radio show here on campus. But really briefly, before we get out of here at Kennedy, I'm a little concerned about this hurricane. I know we mentioned it a little earlier in the cast, but just made landfall as a Category 3.
Yes, and I know it was a Category 5 about 2 days ago.
Yeah, absolutely. There was literally a video of a scientist, or a meteorologist, I should say, that was crying because this is virtually, at some point, it was the biggest hurricane that our atmosphere was kind of limited to. You know what I mean?
Yes, it reminds me of Hurricane Katrina. I'm thinking about people's houses. You know, where are they gonna live?
Yep, exactly. And I feel like a lot of the expressways that's coming out of Florida now, it's too late to evacuate. So the people that did decide to stay, these people, they think that they these real Floridians, you know what I'm saying? They trying to stay and hunker down. But I will say this though. I seen another video of a young lady about our age. She said, I already paid my rent for this month. Where I'm gonna go? So I understand, but please be safe. Please check on your relatives, homeowners down in Florida. If you got an auntie that you haven't spoke to in a really long time, this storm is about to devastate that state.
Yes, it is. Don't stay. Go ahead and leave while you can, because I know the highways are going to be jam-packed, bumper to bumper. So leave while you can.
Get us out of here, Kim.
Thank you so much for watching SMTV. Make sure to visit our social media pages. Like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Southern Miss Student Media Center. If you would like to submit a news tip, email us at sm2news@usm.edu.
Also, if you'd like to advertise with SM2 Media, please reach out to Jason Beverly at jasonbeverly.usm.edu. He might drop you off, he might not, but you can find all these stories and more on our website, sm2media.com. That's it for us here at SM2. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Always remember, Southern Miss to the top.